Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be with you on this delightful occasion. The sun is shining brightly, and another day unfolds at Celtic Football Club, which is preparing for tonight's match against Aberdeen. However, before that, we have some news to share. This is an extra space dedicated to the latest transfer information related to Celtic, as the club has recently been linked to a talent from the English Championship in the last 24 hours. And it seems that the rumors have some substance. So let's dive into this topic today, shall we? It would be wonderful to have your support for this content. We are currently less than 700 subscribers away from reaching the remarkable milestone of 50,000. So take a moment to interact. It's completely free. I'll try to keep this brief as it is Wednesday morning, and I imagine many of you have commitments, whether work, school, university, or other activities. I don't intend to take up much of your time. Whilst editing the video that aired the night before, I was unaware that an article had been published about a player named Tyrese Dolan, who both Celtic and Rangers are reportedly interested in. I had heard the name before and soon saw people in the comments asking, "Is there any truth to Tyrese Dolan? Have you heard of him?" Upon researching his name online and finding this information, I wasn't particularly surprised. It was a name that had been quietly mentioned during the January transfer window, but I didn't believe there was anything concrete at the time. I knew his contract would expire at the end of the season, but I still thought there was nothing substantial. Then suddenly this story emerged. It seems both Celtic and Rangers are keeping an eye on this standout from the Championship. And as we all know, the journalist who brought this information is considered one of the leading references in the field. The contract is about to expire at the end of this season. Initially, it seemed like there was no big news. Then suddenly, this intriguing narrative emerged. Both clubs are reportedly monitoring the situation of Tyrese Dolan, a winger from Blackburn who will become a free agent this summer. The 22-year-old had already been considered an attacking option for Parkhead before the signing of Jota. In the January transfer window, with Jota now sidelined due to surgery that could keep him out until the new year, the manager will certainly focus on strengthening his attack in the upcoming window. Could this player be the solution? It seems both Celtic and Rangers are evaluating this option, which often raises concerns in transfer discussions. It frequently gives the impression that an agent is trying to convince one of the clubs to make an offer aiming to secure a favorable deal and a good contract. However, I am willing to take this information seriously this time, as it comes from a reliable source. I understand the skepticism surrounding this news. Is there any truth to it? Do you think this will come to fruition? What was mentioned in the article is that Celtic is monitoring the situation, which is common in such scenarios. It's worth noting that this is a player with prior ties to Celtic who will be a free agent at the end of the season and has had a positive performance with Blackburn. Naturally, Celtic will keep an eye on his situation. If an opportunity arises, the team is expected to be attentive. Therefore, this information doesn't surprise me, and I do believe there is some truth to it. While he may not be a player who generates a lot of excitement, we believe we will explore this topic further. Undoubtedly, he is a talented athlete who could be a valuable addition to Celtic's roster. At the moment, the main difference between Celtic and Rangers is that Rangers still don't have a fixed manager. There has been talk about a potential move that might be under consideration. In this video, there is an analysis of an athlete who certainly displays skills and could be a valuable addition to a particular group. At this point, the main difference between the two rival teams is that one of them has not yet found a permanent manager. There are rumors about a renowned coach who might join them, but until the team in question completes their internal changes, their approach to acquiring new athletes remains unclear. On the other hand, the other team is functioning regularly if both institutions are indeed considering this player. It's reasonable to say that one of them currently holds a slight advantage. Moreover, the destination for this athlete is undoubtedly more attractive at the moment, and this statement is made without any bias. Regarding the player mentioned, there are no established commitments about his future with the current club. It is widely accepted among the club and its supporters that he is likely to leave the team during this transfer period, which means he is available without the need for a transfer fee. This situation presents an opportunity for the team to make a significant deal if the evaluation made by the current club reflects his true value, as it is estimated that his cost is between 5 and 10 million. Market estimates suggest a value around 6 million. Therefore, acquiring a player valued in this range for free or possibly for a small fee of around $500,000 would be extremely advantageous. This strategy would be a smart move, especially to fill the gap left by the absence of a key player. It's essential to note that during the summer transfer period, especially in the wings, Celtic shows strong depth in this position. With players like Maeda Kun and Jota, the depth of the main roster looks quite promising. What is now necessary is to seek better alternatives or improvements compared to players like Lewis Palmer and James Forrest, who is about to complete the final year of his cycle at Celtic. Therefore, the club does not need to rush into expensive signings immediately. I believe that acquiring Tyrese Dolan could be a smart choice. There might be some skepticism surrounding this approach, with some claiming that it is just an economic strategy and that the board is being lenient. However, it's crucial to consider the broader picture and the potential that this athlete can offer. There's no need to rush to spend exorbitant amounts, and I think Tyrese Dolan could be a wise decision. I recognize that some may argue that this represents a non-profitable investment, yet another economic option, and that the board is taking a lazy approach trying to save money as usual. It's easy to make such statements when hearing free transfer, but this free transfer has its reasons. He hasn't committed his future with Blackburn likely because he believes he's ready to move forward in his career. At just 23 years old, his season in the Championship was quite remarkable as Blackburn came close to securing a playoff spot. He registered 7 goals and 6 assists. While this may not seem impressive at first glance considering the amount of football he played, it was a solid campaign in the Championship, totaling 13 goal contributions in a 44-match season. This is quite significant. By researching his name, you can notice that Blackburn fans are disappointed with his departure. Indeed, he was praised as one of the players who performed better compared to some who, shall we say, didn't put in the effort this season. Undoubtedly, he has talent and room for growth. He is a product of Manchester City's academy, and after a spell at Preston, now finds himself at Blackburn. I'm not suggesting he's an exceptional athlete ready to occupy the position of Dyson Maeda on the left wing or Nicholas on the right, but he is certainly an interesting option to integrate into the squad. Celtic could benefit greatly from his arrival, which would also allow investments in other areas of the team that need improvement. The player is also attracting interest from clubs abroad, so it will be interesting to see how this situation unfolds. As I mentioned earlier, this doesn't indicate that Celtic is about to formalize a contract with Tyrese Dolan, or that he is a priority target. We are just monitoring the situation, and this is very preliminary information signaling that Celtic is in the early stages of observing the athlete. I don't believe it's something to be dismissed. There are signs that Celtic might be close to signing a player who is a significant target. Currently, the available information is limited and suggests that the club is in the early stages of monitoring this athlete. It doesn't seem like something to generate excessive excitement at this moment. This situation will develop over time, and we'll be able to see what happens in the coming weeks. Additionally, it may not be necessary for the club to make significant efforts to facilitate this transfer. There are various options available regarding wide players during this transfer window. Potential players have already been discussed. However, this athlete should be closely followed as mentioned in a recent discussion. If Celtic begins the next season with some of these players still on the roster, there is hope for a positive outcome. Starting the season with 2 of them as the main wide players, along with another as a backup, could result in a strong formation. The wings could present good potential, whether with this specific player or another. At this point, there's not much reason for excitement, but it highlights that Celtic is exploring options for its wings. Regarding the previously mentioned player, there are indications about his future that deserve brief attention. A notable observation was made about his interaction on social media, where he liked a comment related to the club. This action sparked interest among fans. There are speculations about whether this is a sign of his intentions or just a casual moment. As with the situation with the other player, it doesn't seem like there's much value in analyzing it deeply at this moment, but he has been linked to the club for almost a year. He seems to be a truly promising player, and it would be exciting to see this movement happen if possible. For now, there will be more discussions as the season progresses. The team will receive reactions to the upcoming games, and the expectation is growing as important league matches approach. There's a sense of excitement about the future, and the focus will continue to be on the evolution of the situation. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In a move set to bolster Celtic's midfield ranks ahead of a crucial campaign, the Glasgow Giants have officially announced the signing of Republic of Ireland international Jason Knight from Bristol City. The 23-year-old box-to-box midfielder has penned a long-term deal with the Hoops after impressing during his time in the English Championship. Knight, who made over 40 appearances for Bristol City last season, arrives at Parkhead with a reputation for relentless energy, intelligent movement, and a never-say-die attitude, qualities that have become synonymous with Celtic's playing philosophy. The transfer, believed to be in the region of $4 million, signals the club's intent to reinforce its squad with young, dynamic talent as it eyes another domestic title and a strong showing in European competition. Speaking to the club's media, team shortly after sealing the move, Knight expressed his excitement at joining one of Scotland's most storied institutions. It's an honor to sign for a club with such a massive history and incredible fans. I've always admired the passion here and can't wait to pull on a jersey and play at Celtic Park, he said. Knight's arrival comes at a pivotal time for Celtic, with manager Brendan Rodgers eager to reshape the squad following a season that saw both triumphs and frustrations. The Irishman is expected to slot Knight into a central midfield role, possibly partnering with the likes of Callum McGregor and Rio Hatate in a new-look engine room. Fans will remember Knight's breakout years at Derby County before his switch to Bristol City, where he quickly became a fan favorite for his tireless work rate and leadership on the pitch. With 26 caps already under his belt for the Republic of Ireland, his experience belies his age, and many believe he could be a transformative presence in Celtic's midfield. The Celtic faithful will be hoping that Knight can settle quickly and make an immediate impact as preseason looms and the countdown to Champions League qualifiers begins. One thing's for certain, Jason Knight's move north of the border adds another layer of intrigue to what promises to be a thrilling season ahead in Scottish football. Hello fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.